Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. I'm Doug, and today we're going to make a deco mesh Halloween wreath, so stay tuned. I have a framed wreath that I got. You can find these, gosh, at the dollar store even, but you can find them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. So you can buy a ready-made wreath, but I'm just going to make it myself. So basically, you see there are three sections, 1, 2, 3, and there's 4 wires, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so what I'm going to do is hopefully you can see that, the very top one here, I'm going to place it in between, like sort of like at a diagonal. Okay, so hopefully you can see that better. You can see that right here, I'm crossing it, and all you want to do is just twist it, just like that. Maybe give it 2 twists. I think that's good. And we're going to do that going all the way around. One, 2, you can do 3. 3 is even probably better. All right, so we're going to keep going, going to fill all those up. Okay, so we have our working wreath here, and as you can see that I tied, I'm doing this is a 14-inch wreath, a wired wreath. I am using pipe cleaners. I think we're going to be using around 21 or so pipe cleaners. And the very first one that I'm doing is putting it on if you look at the outside here, it's that very first bar after the outside bar. And I'm doing a cross. And you just want to cross it over those wires or underneath those wires, just like that. And then you're just going to twist 1, 2, maybe 3, make sure that that's secure. So we have 7 of these pipe cleaners that are, if we look at the wire, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing it on the second one, and it's crisscrossed right there. All right. I'm going to put the hot glue in between these 2 sections on the bar, just a little bit. And we're going to get a pipe cleaner, and we're going to put it right underneath, not crisscross, but put it underneath, and then we're going to twist. 1, 2. And that glue will just help kind of keep that in place so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to get a piece of paper just to put it, getting a piece of paper just to put it underneath, so if any glue, I don't want it getting on my working mat here. So I'm going to put another little dot of hot glue. Put my pipe cleaner. Give it a twist, about 3 times or so. And we're going to keep doing that, going all the way around. Little dot of glue right in the middle. So that takes care of the outside, and now we're going to work on that inside. So right in between these two things again, we're going to place right there a little dot of glue, and then we're going to do the inside. So I'm going to get busy doing that, and I'll be back. Okay, so I used my 21 pipe cleaners, and as you can see, this is the inner part, and I went right in the middle, and I did that on all sections right here. And then of course, we had what we originally started out with, which was using the first bar and doing a cross section. And then of course the outer bar right in the middle also. So these are all ready for me to make my wreath. So now we're gonna cut our deco mesh. Okay, so let me get my deco mesh, and I have this really nice Fiskars mat on my table here, my counter. So I'm going to measure, let's see, we want 30 inches. So there's 30. Very easy. And this is one of those self-healing mats, so it's okay if you're using that rotary cutter on it. So we're going to need a total of 21, because we had 21 pipe cleaners. I decided I'm going to be using this 10-inch deco mesh ribbon, and I'm only going to do those on the outside. The smaller ones I'm going to do for the rest of the wreath. So I have a total of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to be adding those to the outside of the wreath. Okay, so we're going to begin making our ruffled wreath. So I have this is my 10-inch deco mesh ribbon that has been cut 30 inches in length. And what I like to do is I get the side, make sure that when you're doing it that it's folding underneath, all right? And I'm just going to kind of make that little hem, and then I'm just using a rock or anything you could have if you have a coaster or something that's heavy to place it on there, or you could even have it looped across the table if you wanted to do it that way. But I'm going to do it with my rock, and basically this is curling underneath. So I want to do that curl, and I'm going to start actually just walking with my fingers. All right, so you're just pulling it, gathering it, walking with your fingers. Go slowly. Notice how it's moving my rock and it's not curling. The rock actually helps a lot. Hopefully you can see that. And we're just going to curl that, and then there we go. And we have our beautiful little ruffle. So now on my pipe cleaner, and I'm going to use the one on the outside. So I'm going to get my pipe cleaner, the one that's on the outside, and give it a good twist, just like that. Very nice, just like that. Hopefully you can see that. And we're going to continue making them. I'm going to do another one so you can see. Once again, it has that natural curl. So you just get one end, make your little seam, get your rock or something heavy, place it at one end, uncurl it, and then the seam that's at this side, make sure that's curled in, just like that. And once that's curled in, then you're going to start walking with your fingers. Very slowly, gathering it together, just like that. We want it to be even as best as possible on both sides. And then there you go. I got my other ruffle. I'm going to place it right over here. Tie it tightly. And you're just giving it a couple of twists. Okay? And as you can see, this is how it's turning out right now. So I'm going to continue making my ruffles and putting it together with the 10-inch, and we'll come back for the 5-inch. I got my ruffles around the outside of my wreath. Now I'm going to be adding the 5-inch one to all the other pipe cleaners, and that's what's going to make it look really full. Now the reason why I'm not doing all 10-inch, because number one, it's a 14-inch wreath. I think it would be too much, but I do want it on the outside just to kind of like give it some dimension. Okay, so you're going to have the smaller one version and a little bit larger one. So I'm going to start working on my 5-inch, add it, and then the wreath should be done here. Okay, just to add a little bit extra, something different. With the black, it's really, you hardly see it, but you can notice it when you look up close. All right, so I'm going to continue making these. And these are super easy. Like I said, you just pinch the middle and then give it a good tie. You want to find good sections. Sometimes it's so hard to find the pipe cleaners. It's looking really good. Let me curl it and then pinch it. So here is my wreath. I am loving it. And if you have any extra little wires hanging out, just give it a little haircut. All right, look at that. Look how awesome that looks so far. All right, now we're going to add the ribbon. We're going to add our little embellishments like our ghosts, where we have to paint them first. So I'm going to be painting them white, and I might be using some puffy paint to kind of outline it a little bit. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to be working on that, and then we're going to start adding it to our wreath. Okay, so the next step you want to do is you want to paint your ghost. Now I already gave it one coat, so I'm going over it again for a second coat. And you want it nice and smooth on top of your wood. I'm only doing the front. I'm not going to do the back. If you wanted to do both sides, you could, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think it'll be fine. Okay, let me go over these. Okay, so now what I did is I have a little white here. I'm going to add just a little bit of gray. I want it a lighter gray than this one. Just like about like that. And I'm going just to paint, give it a little outline. Around the arms so you can see it. I think I'm going to do the whole ghost itself. This little outline. And the eyes. And the mouth. Okay, I just had another idea. I'm going to add some, a little glow in the dark paint. How awesome is that going to look? Because this will be on the outside. So I'm just going to add some to my ghost. Okay, so I have my boost signs here. I'm going to get my white temper paint stick. And I'm just going to paint over the signs like this. The Halloween sign, I'm gonna do that too. Okay, so we're back and we are letting our ghosts and our signs, all that stuff dry. We're gonna add some Mod Podge to that, and then we're gonna add some glitter, a little bit of glitter to the ghosts. All right, so I have my wreath here. Once again, let's take a look at it. It's looking good, but we want to, of course, we're gonna be fluffing it up just a little bit. You know, that's when you kind of zhuzh your wreath, kind of fix it up the way you want it. I'm looking at my wreath and I think right here, nope, let's take a look. I want to decide where I'm going to put my bow. So I think I'm going to put my bow right here. All right, so that means let's try to zhuzh this up a little bit. And what I want to do is put my big bow at the bottom. So I'm going to be putting my big bow right at this bottom here. So we need to make our bow. This right here is an easy bow maker. And you can use an easy bow maker. You can use, you really don't even have to use that. You could actually just fold it on your own, but I like using it because it just makes it a little bit easier for me. So let's take a look at all the ribbons we're going to be using. All right. I'm thinking about this one. I haven't decided if I'm going to use this orange and black. I was going to stick to just white and black, and I definitely going to use this. This is the polka dot one. I really love that one. I have this striped one, which I'm also going to use. This is another polka dot one, but this is a smaller one. This is a thinner one. I think this is at 1.5 inches. These are 2.5, I believe. And so this is another 1.5. I have just plain white, also 1.5. This one would add a little pop of color, which I think we should have. If I'm going to use these leaves here in my wreath, I think I might be using this because that's going to tie it together. Have this really cute, look at this cute ghost ribbon. It's very thin though, so I might be adding those as accents. All right, so now what am I going to use for the big bow? Well, I'm going to be using my 2.5 inch ribbon here, and I think I'm going to use the white with it. Even that this is not 2.5, this is 1.5. I think I'm going to be putting that along with it. This is only single-sided, so what I'm going to need to do is I need to flip it right here, and I'm going to do 8 inches here, bring it over, and put it in between my two rods, and just like that. And then you want to give it a twist, a full twist, and we're going to do 8 inches here for my bow. And then just bring that back here. And then I'm going to have my tail, and that's going to be about 8 inches. So let me get my scissors. Going to do my ducktail. You always want to cut it at like a 45-degree angle. Same thing over here. Okay, so we got this here. That's my big bow here, okay? This is, like I said, about 8 inches. And I think that's a good size for my wreath, okay? All right, now we're gonna use our next one, which is the striped one. Now the striped one is doubled, so yay on that. Don't have to worry about that so much. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Gonna measure it about 7 inches on this one. So this one we're going about an inch smaller. And we're just laying that one on top. This one over here, we gave it a twist in the middle. Let's see. That one, yeah, let's do about 6.5 instead of 7. We're gonna make it just a little bit smaller. And then once again, my ducktail, 45-degree angle. And then same thing over here. On that side. All right, now, I think I'm debating. I might be using the orange. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the orange. Even that it's thinner. Now this is not double-sided. That's why it's not fun when you don't have double-sided. But you can still make it work. That's what we're gonna do. This one's gonna be around 4.5 inches. If you don't know how to do a ducktail, basically, you get your ribbon, you fold it in half, and then you just cut on a 45-degree angle, and then it makes a ducktail. All right. I like the ducktails. I think it's gives it a nicer look. All right. Looks good. All right, so now that this is all in place, I'm going to lift and get a pipe cleaner. I'm just using black, and we're going to tie it, twist it, tie it, twist it, twist it, tie it. Just like that. And I'm going to puff out my bows. I'm going to get my orange ribbon and I'm going to cut it around 10 inches or so. And that's going to be our middle part. It's going to go over. See how that's going to look? Awesome. All right, let's continue working on our embellishments, and then we should be finishing up our wreath. Okay, so we're back. We have one last thing to do, and that is our sprays. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a spray of ribbons, and I'm going to be putting it inside the wreath. And I'm going to be using these ribbons. These are 1.5 inches, so this is my striped ribbon. This is just plain white. I'm going to be using the polka dots. And then I got that really thin ribbon, the cute one with the ghosts on it. So don't forget our theme is cute this year, so not scary. So basically using your rotary cutter or a pair of scissors, we're going to cut this 10 inches long. And that should be good. And then we're going to make our sprays. Now, basically, we're going to do crisscross and, well, let me just show you. Okay, so this is how we're going to do our sprays. I'm going to use the polka dots in the back first, and I'm just going to make a cross, just like this, like an X. And so there's my X. Then I'm going to put this in between, like make a cross with the stripes, just like that. And then I'm going to get my white and kind of just put it at a diagonal here and one going here. And then I have the little ghosties right there. That's going to go here and here. Okay, So as you can see, it looks like this. All we're gonna do is press down in the middle. I'm going to bring everything up this way, like if you're folding it in half, and just grab this part and bring it over like that, and it should look something like this. So we're gonna get a pipe cleaner. I'm using a black pipe cleaner. You're just going to wrap it probably about 1 inch up. Okay, just wrap it, pull it tight. I wrap it once, and then I'm gonna start twisting. Okay, just like that. All right. Now you do want to leave that extra because that's what you're going to tie it to your wreath inside. You're going to tie it to your wire wreath. So, or you could also tie it to another pipe cleaner if you wanted to. But now I'm just going to open these up for my spray. Make sure those little ghosties show. And if you got some that are turned around, you see the bad side, just flip it. That's why if you can get ribbon that is double-sided, I would totally do that. It just saves you time from trying to twist these ribbons. Now I left it a straight. If you wanted to also make that with ducktails, you can do that, but I'm gonna leave this straight. I think it's fine, just like that. These are gonna be tucked in my wreath. All right, so look at that, isn't that cute? And these will be tucked in the wreath. Okay, so the next thing you wanna do is look at all your supplies, everything that you have to put your wreath together, and heat up your hot glue gun. So as you can see, I have right here my big wreath. My wreath is ready to go, it's ready to be decorated. Now you definitely wanna look at it and say to yourself, okay, where should my bow go? And I think my bow is gonna go right here. So this is gonna be the bottom. And you might wanna zhuzh your wreath a little bit. Okay, so I think that's where we're gonna put the bow. So there's that. Here is the bow, the beautiful bow. We're gonna fluff it once we put it on the wreath because we're gonna have to fluff it anyway. So we'll fluff it then. Look at those ducktails. Look how cute that is. All right. We also have our ghosties. Look at how they turned out. Painted, and they have, actually it's painted white with acrylic. And then it's all, and I think also a little tempera. I think on these it has tempera. Those were a tempera paint stick, but these were acrylic. So, and then I also put on there the glow-in-the-dark paint, and then I also put Mod Podge and some white glitter. So it's kind of hard for you to maybe see the glitter, but it definitely has a shine to it. It looks really good. So I got my ghosties, I got my words. I did not put glitter on my words, I just want them white. So I got my 3 boos. Hey, boo. And happy Halloween sign. I got some fall leaves that I'm going to add, kind of like by the ghosts. That's going to tie in that color of the ribbon, that little orange we popped in there for a little color. And then we have our sprays that we just made. So I have 3 sprays that were made. Okay, so that I think is all we're going to put on our wreath. So let's start putting it together. Now, when you put it together, one thing that is super important is that you plan it out first. Look at your wreath. Before you start gluing anything down, get your wreath, place it down on a nice flat surface, and start placing things. Okay, so we definitely want the bow to be at the bottom. You can also have a bow on top. You can have it off to the side. I kind of like it for this wreath at the bottom. So I'm just going to put it on top. I'm not attaching anything yet. Then I want to put these next because these are my next big pieces. So I'm just going to tuck it in because these are going to be tucked way in there. All right, it's not going to be popping out too much. You're just going to see a little bit of it. So let's see. I might put this one down here. It's okay if they're not exactly symmetrical. In fact, I really don't want it to be exactly symmetrical. And this one I might put on the top a little off to the side here. All right, gonna really shove that in there. All right, so that's how it's looking so far. I got room for my ghosts right here. There's gonna be one here. This might, let's see, I could fit him right here. He's gonna be right next to that spray, like that. I'm gonna put this ghost, let's see, maybe right here. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks cute. He's popping in there on the side. And then you want the booze close to the ghost because they're saying boo. See how much fun this is. And then the Happy Halloween sign maybe right up there. I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna have these fall leaves. I'll attach the fall leaves last because I definitely don't want to put the fall leaves right behind the eyes of the ghost because you can see it because these are kind of cut out, but I'm gonna put it near and just have some fall leaves here and there. And like I said, that's gonna help tie in. Yeah, let me get some more. It's gonna help tie in that orange color in the ribbon. You could make this pure black and white, but I like the little pop of orange. It just says Halloween, you know? Put that there, like over here. All right, so now that I have it kind of planned out, then I say to myself, okay, does it look good? And you might want to make some adjustments here and there, but I think it looks pretty good. And we can start hot gluing. Okay, so as you can see, I have my wreath up. I just kind of put it up just so I can feel it out. I haven't attached the fall leaves yet. You want to be really strategic in making sure you're putting it in the right spot because once you glue it down, that's it. So I really think that's good the way it is. I love the ghost. The ghost really turned out awesome. The bow is great. The little sprays, the signs. This Happy Halloween, yeah, I wish it was a little bit bigger, but that's what I got. So we're gonna just leave that. And I think the rest looks great. So let me start gluing down my fall leaves and then it will be finished. Well, it is done. It's finally completed. I'm so excited and I think it turned out great. My cute, spooky, ghosty wreath is done and I'm really happy the way it turned out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you didn't know anything about making wreaths, hopefully you learned something new. And even if you know how to make wreaths, hopefully you picked up a new tip or two. But I think it turned out great and it was fun to make, and hopefully you'll make one too this year. Thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas today. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye.